I don't know about you, but that looked like money.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Your screen is pretty full right now with some beautiful Otto Graham 1948 exhibits. And while they all look the same, they are all completely different. I am going to be doing, I'm still doing research on this, but I really want to do an in-depth look at Exhibits football. It's a pretty fascinating set, pretty confusing set, but it's something I'm getting really interested in, and I just really love the Exhibits cards themselves. Can't believe they aren't more popular than they are. They're just gorgeous. So that's a project I'm working on. It's going to take some time because there's a lot of nooks and crannies when it comes to Exhibits cards. For this video though, let's focus on the Otto Graham. If you've seen any of my previous videos over the last few weeks, you'll know that I picked up the postcard back Otto Graham first, and I picked this one up a few weeks ago, and then I just got this one in the mail. This completes sort of the variation rainbow, if you want to call it that. Having said that, Exhibits also come in tinted versions. There's red, pink, yellow, and green. Whether or not Otto Graham has variations, color variations, I don't know. That's how scarce those are. I have not found any yet online, any old images of those online. I've seen them of other players like Y.A. Tittle and Sammy Baugh, but none of Otto Graham. So for now, I'm assuming these are the three exhibits that Graham has. The one I just picked up is the Exhibits Champions. And you'll notice on the Champions, I believe it's a 50 card set. I might be wrong on that. But they've got this added text at the bottom. And for Graham, it says Cleveland Browns All-American Conference 1947 Passing Champion. These came out in 1948. And I'm going to get into that too here in a little bit. Because these were distributed between 1948 and 1952, and since they're blank backed, it doesn't really say what year they were printed, but there is a way to figure it out, and I'll dive into that here in a minute. So that was the third one I needed. The second one, oh, and you also notice, I wanted to bring this up too, I brought this up in the last video. You'll notice on these two there's this print mark, print line, whatever you want to call it, here and here. It's the same on each card. The Champions does not have that. I find that kind of interesting. So back to it. This was the, if you want to call it a regular issue, his regular exhibit. I don't know what you call it, but you can see they're blank back. This one's got kind of a pinkish hue to it. It's not a pink variation. I've seen pictures of the pink variations. Let's just say you know that they're pink variations. They're very pink. And then the third one is one of the favorite cards I own. I feel like I got such a good deal on this in the auction. This is the postcard back. One of only two that have been graded. And if you do a search of Exhibits postcard backs, you might find one or two of all players in the set. There aren't many of those. So yeah, there's the 3 Graham exhibits. I'm assuming these are the only 3 he has, but again, there are sepia and color tint variations of exhibits out there. I don't know if Graham has one. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. They're super rare. They rarely come up for sale. Not just the star players, any player. They're very, very difficult. So I mentioned earlier, it's hard to tell what year they were printed. Was it 48, 49, 50, 51? There's a way to tell. I'm doing some research online. The Made in USA text in the bottom right. If you measure left to right, what that length is, the ones printed in 1948, it's 5/8 of an inch across. That's the 48 and 49 print year. The 50 print year is 7/16 across. And then in 51, I think it's a 1/2 inch. And in 52, it's, instead of all uppercase, it's upper and lowercase. So there is kind of a decoder ring to determine the print year. All three of these Otto Grahams, the text length is 5/8 of an inch, which puts the print year of 1948 on these. So this predates his 1950 Bowman. And honestly, I think they're nicer than the 50 Bowman. And I love 50 Bowman, but I love the exhibits too. So they're all three side by side. All kind of look the same, but they're all different, if that makes sense. The pops on these are very, very low. As I said, on the postcard back, there are 2 graded total of Otto Graham. The other 2, we're talking, less than 50 graded by SGC. And Beckett grades them too, and the last I checked, the total pop on these are in the single digits. Very, very scarce. There are raw ones out there that you can buy, but they're so susceptible to being trimmed or faked or both. And the prices are so reasonable that it's better off just to buy them already graded. That's kind of where I'm at on these. Exhibits are pretty fascinating. I'm definitely diving headfirst into this project. I've only got one other exhibit, and that's the Sammy Baugh. So I only own 4 exhibits for now, but I'm definitely in the market for more. Some of the players are short printed. I think Emlyn Tennell is short printed. Y.A. Tittle is short printed. Sid Luckman may be short printed. But honestly, all of these they're all relatively scarce compared to your 50 Bowmans, your 51 Bowmans. You can find those every day. Exhibits you cannot. Why they're so unpopular, I don't know. They are oversized, maybe that's part of it, but it's not like they're gigantic like the Lefty Grove Butterfinger I have back here. That thing's an 8x10. And Butterfingers are relatively popular. I don't know. I think exhibits have a chance to become popular. But I don't know. I enjoy it. That's all that matters. Hopefully I can put a video together here in the near, few weeks. It's going to take some time, but I am going to do an exhibits deep dive, because it's, from what I've been reading, it's a pretty fascinating, interesting, and if you're putting a set together, a very challenging set to put together. So that's it for today. Thanks for checking out the Otto Graham exhibits. If you know anything about exhibits, or a fan of them, or don't like them, let me know. I'm trying to learn more about these as I go. Definitely not an expert. I just want to learn more about them. So if you've got any experience with them, any information on them, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.